everybody. Welcome to the Trading with Ashley show. I hope you had a great week of trading. We had some whipsaw action, quite a bit, which is perfect if you are a trader or if you love to sell options. So I wanted to go over with you my favorite picks for Leaps call options. Now, I did a video just a few days ago, actually, and I went through all the mechanics of a Leaps. I think it's a great video for you to watch if you want to better understand what to do with the Leaps, when to select a Leaps, when to actually get out of one, how to performance manage it, when to sell a poor man's covered call, or whether you just sell it for profit or exercise it. I went through everything. I'm going to leave that video at the end. But tonight, I want to go through all of my Leaps picks, and I am going to show you each one. I'm going to evaluate it with you, and I'm going to show you when is the right time to get in. Now, some of these, I'm ready to get into more Leaps right now. We just had some exciting news about Robinhood being entered into the S&P 500 after hours, and so that's exciting. I'm going to go over Robinhood. I'm going to go over a few other heavy hitters, and so I think this is going to be a great video if you have your wish list put together and you want to enjoy getting into some great action. Now, speaking of action, I know that the market is very touch and go in September. That volatility is what we actually look forward to. It gives us a good entry on some quality plays. Now, I don't think all the fireworks are over. I do think we're going to have some more volatility as we get towards the end of September. You know, as we get towards the end of September, we're actually looking at the budget being approved, and there's a lot of fear mongering. As we get closer, there's a lot of back and forth, and it always looks like we're not going to get the budget approved and that the government will stop, but it always comes through in one way or the other. So that's a great opportunity. So some of the picks that I'm going to give you right now might be perfect for when that happens if we are suppressed during that last week of September. Now, I have one more thing to share with you before I get into my picks for Leaps. If any of you are interested in getting into my credit spread challenge, that is going on in my new Trader Network. It's actually going to start on Monday. We did the training this week, and I posted that recording within that community. The new Trader Network is a link you can click below. You can join it directly. It is a monthly fee. You can get out at any time, but you might want to join us for the credit spread challenge because you will learn a valuable skill on how to use credit spreads to scale your account. The training I did was very detailed, and it talked a lot about performance management, and I will literally be holding your hand through these trades. We won't do tons of them. We'll do one a week, but it'll give you a good feel for how this works. If you're interested in that, join the new Trader Network below so you can get in on all the action that will start this upcoming week. All right, let's jump into the computer. We are going to start off with none other than Robinhood. And Robinhood just received some very good news. They are being included in the S&P 500. This took place after hours, and so we are seeing a pop after hours. We're already at about 108 when we had closed the day at about 101. And this stock is important because they have so many incredible things on the horizon that I think will continue to push it higher. The PE ratio is at about 51, so a little bit on the high side, but for a growth company, that is to be expected. Now, before we look at the technicals, let's go take a look at the analysis tab. This is on Yahoo Finance because it gives us a report card on a stock. And I like what I'm seeing. First of all, they continue to impress and outperform in earnings. But then look right here. The revenue continues to grow, and also their earnings are continuing to grow. So the amount of money that they're keeping. And you should see this continue to grow with all the initiatives that they have coming. And then, I really like how Robinhood has done so much to pull in additional money of new traders, not just your retail traders, but established accounts. They have been diversifying their entire platform to be able to accept larger amounts of money, and they give great incentives for large account holders to pull their money over. And your average price target is at 113, and even with this pop after hours, we're not there yet. So let's go look at the technicals and see if it's a good time to actually invest in Leaps. This is the 3-month chart, and we are looking at the action that was taking place during the market. And so it shows that it's at the bottom of the Bollinger Band or close to it, and it was sitting right here on top of the 50-day moving average, which that's a very important part of a stock that I like to look at when I'm determining whether I sell puts or whether I buy Leaps. The 50-day moving average is a really strong one, and it looks like it will definitely open above that on Monday. The RSI is 44, again, on the 3-month chart. So this is showing us that this stock has been under selling pressure. Now, in my community, we have actually been buying leaps and skips on this stock. So we are locked and loaded, but you can never have enough of a quality company. So I would, after all the excitement dies down next week, I will be watching this stock. And if we settle in anywhere above 100, I think it's a good spot anywhere between 100 and 105 to actually go again. Now, we might see on Monday profit takers. And if we do see that, it could push the price down a little, and I might go in for additional leaps. When I buy leaps, I like to go out to 2027 because I'm of the belief that if you invest a little bit of money now, as you are watching this grow through the years, especially as more initiatives roll out and the market continues to push higher over time, that is a worthy investment. And so I have this on my watch list for additional leaps. I may go again early next week. And if we get any kind of pullback that last couple of weeks in September, then I definitely will flesh out my position. Next, I want to look at NVIDIA. Now, NVIDIA had quite the run earlier in the year. When you look at the price, I know that I had picked up some leaps when it was trading at around $90 a share. So mine are doing really good, but again, you can never have enough of a quality company. So if you look at their PE ratio, it's right there at 47, not very far from where Robinhood is. Let's go look at the analysis tab. And this one always makes me smile. I actually use this as an example of a really good company that anybody would be proud to own. Again, they continue to outperform on earnings, but look at their revenue. Their revenue is stair-stepping up, and they have great earnings. You normally don't see a large company like this that has such significant earnings to their revenue. So this shows you it is an extremely healthy company. Now, I know we've seen recent pressure due to Broadcom having their own chips that they're manufacturing now, but there is plenty of business to go around. So I just look at this as an opportunity to get more NVIDIA. And look, their price target's well above where we are now. It's 206. Let's go take a look at the charts. We can look at the technicals. Okay, I am seeing a stock that is ready to have leaps purchased, and I am going out further, so I don't mind if I don't get the rock bottom prices. I will go ahead and add more to my position early next week, and then if we have additional pressure at the end of September, I'll flesh out that position. Here's what's telling me this is a good time to buy. We are at the bottom of the Bollinger Band. We are close to 30 on the RSI. We're at 36, and we are trading below the 50-day moving average with this recent news. So let's see how they react to this being at this level below the 50-day moving average. But if you look at the next potential moving average, it's right here at 150. This is the 100-day. So if we continue to have pressure on this stock and it gets down this low to 150, I will definitely be adding to that position as well. So I'm going to probably start early next week with additional leaps, and then I'll save a little bit of dry powder in case we get down to this 150 level. Next, number 3, let's take a look at UNH. Now, this one caught some attention when it was discovered that Warren Buffett actually invested quite a bit of money in it. One thing I like about UNH is it diversifies my portfolio. I'm very heavy into tech stocks, and UNH is a healthcare stock. And let's look at the PE ratio. This is one of the lower ones that I have looked at. It's 13.66, which is very low. Now, let's go take a look at the analysis tab to get a better sense for this company. Here we see growing revenue. Now, the earnings aren't as significant as we've seen on other companies, but that's to be expected with healthcare. The average price target is $330 right now, and it's trading at $315, so it's below that. Let's take a look at the technicals. Now, UNH has had a lot of pressure on it, so you see that everything's out of whack. The 200-day moving average is way up here. You have the 100-day moving average below it. Then we have the 20 and the 50. So this is really an upside-down chart, but that's to be expected with a stock that's been under this much selling pressure. So it looks like the time may be soon to invest in additional leaps in this company. Like I said, I already have a few, but one thing I want to look at right here, we're at 65 on the RSI. So with that being said, I really want this to be closer to about 50
And if I were to buy Leaps now, I think they will still be okay in 2027, but you do want to try to buy them when you feel like that the stock is definitely going to be going up from here. We do have this gap right here, so this is something to note, and it may want to come down and fill that gap right here. If it were to fill the gap, it looks like it would get down maybe. I don't know if we're going to go below 300 again, but if we do, if we have a flash crash and the market's under pressure, start looking right there at about 275 to flesh out your position. Now here we are at stock number 4. This is Google. So Google had been under a lot of pressure earlier when we did not know the outcome of the case. But now that we have the outcome and it looks like they are able to hold on to some key components of their business, now everything looks like they have some catch up to do with their price action. PE ratio is very respectable right here at 25. Now let's take a look at the analysis tab. Again, this is another company that is very profitable. You see the revenue is healthy and then the earnings are healthy as well. Average price target, this was before all of the good news came out. So right now it's trading a little bit above the price target. But if you look right here, it's rated a strong buy. Let's go take a look at the technicals. Now, Google has definitely been on a heater. I would not be buying more Leaps at this point. We've got several things that give me caution, and this one will definitely be on my wish list, but I won't be buying additional Leaps until the time is right. Let me show you why. You see right here on the RSI, we're at 84. We're extremely overbought at this point. That coupled with the fact we are busting out of the Bollinger Band, we're above the Bollinger Band, but then look at this huge gap up. So you would expect that this would at some point get filled when there's a little bit of pressure on the market. If we were to go with the gap fill, then that would put it right here at around 212. And so there's a little bit ways down before I will invest additional. Now, lucky for me, I had actually made a video too for all of you. If you followed suit, I had purchased some Leaps on this stock a while back and I sold some puts to finance that purchase. So really, I got that Leaps free. I love doing that on stocks that'll really beat up. And this is one that looks like it could come back and fill this gap before I go again. But this one has a long runway with everything AI. So it's definitely at the top of my list when it cools down a bit. And the last one, number 5, to share with you is one that I have not spoken about a lot. This is Vertiv Holdings, ticker symbol VRT. They have a PE ratio of 59, and VRT is one of those companies that I put in the category of the picks and shovels for AI. So this is one that you may not have heard a lot about, but you may want to look into it and see if it fits into your trading profile. Let's take a look at the analysis tab. This is also a healthy company. As you can see, the revenue continues to go up, and also they continue to beat expectations, and it looks like their earnings are doing well. There could be more upside to the earnings as this grows. Everyone will start to pay attention to it. They have an average price target of 157, currently trading at 124. This is definitely one that I want more exposure to. Let's go look at the technicals. Ticker symbol VRT is sitting at a decent spot to go ahead and start investing in Leaps for me. You can see on the RSI, we're low, we're at 41. Could be a little bit more downward pressure, but this is still a good spot, in my opinion, to start adding to my position. We're trading in the lower parts of the Bollinger Band, the 3-month band, and if we were to go down further, it looks like we could get down here to 120, and then if we look at this 100-day moving average, it's sitting at 115. It's very close to the 200-day as well. So anything this close to the 200-day is good for a long-term play, in my opinion. So I will look to be fleshing this position out. I'll be nibbling a little bit more next week, and then if we have additional pressure at the end of September, I will flesh out my position on Leaps with this particular stock.
I hope you have your list ready and you have your favorite ones circled. Remember, if you're with me, Trading with Ashley, there is no trader left behind. Now, I had promised you that video that goes over all the mechanics of Leaps. This is going to be something I think you really enjoy watching this weekend. I'm going to leave that video for you right here.